All right, we get to the people, and it's just a question. It's a massive week for the Pistons and Red Wings. Red Wings we've turned our attention to, which is the draft is Friday and Saturday. It's just obvious trades are taking place now. If you're going to make a big trade, it's going to happen around the draft, before or at. And I've asked Kenny a multitude of questions, and Kenny's answer is essentially no and no to all of them. I want to know what your answer is. I don't want them picking 13th. There's no use for it. I'd move that pick in a heartbeat. I want to make a trade. I don't want to sign more middle six garbage. I want high-end players. And yes, you're going to have to pay to get them. But what are we doing here if that's not the goal? So let's talk to the hockey elite and see where they're at.
Because I think what Kenny is saying, and I kind of feel like this, if you pick at 13th, it's telling you, I guess, the obvious that there's really no pressure. This guy has the longest runway ever.
You're drafting a player, and Yzerman may not even be here when he comes up.
Yeah.
Call it. Can you guarantee Yzerman's here in 2031?
No.
Okay, well, I have no interest in using that pick.
Right.
Like, what is the point? I'll use the pick to acquire someone. I'll use the pick to, here, take the 13th pick, and I'll dump all the crap, all the garbage on you. I don't know. I don't know. All I envision is a dump truck, and it's emptying a whole pallet of mulch onto the ground. Here's all our stuff, and it's in your driveway now. I don't know what else to do. Let's go to the people. We'll go to Dave, 97.1. Hi, Dave.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, guys.
Sure.
Yeah, Kenny, thank you, and I hope you guys are doing well. The thing that Kenny was spot on, and, I don't know, unless he's Jim Harbaugh who can deliver in 7 years, and it took that long, but I know it's harder in hockey. But I like Stevie, what he did in this town and everything, but, man, you got to get off the schneid. Like you said, get a good player or two in here, that could shore up the blue line and, have a good power play and, hopefully you get a decent goaltender and, do something right in this town, man. And it's just, they got the most Stanley Cups of any American team. He's got to be feeling the pressure. I mean, I would. I mean, I'm not Stevie, or it's Chris Illich. I don't know.
So
but anyway, that's all I wanted to say.
To be clear, so
yeah,
13th pick Friday night, you believe they're using it, not weaponizing it, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'd trade up. I'd get somebody else and package a deal.
I wouldn't trade up. There's no. First of all, the cost of trading up is.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't trade up. I would just use that pick and get another player that's good, an all-star, somebody that can play.
It's a weapon. There's a lot of teams in the league that need financial help. They're up against the cap. Look, here's some of the players. I'll just give you a few of these. This is a list. You can do what you want. I mean, Kenny, you want to, like I brought this up, you were screening a call. Any interest in Noah Dobson? New York papers, the Islanders may trade this kid.
Yeah, sure.
Now, again, production dipped from 70 to about 40 points, but he's 25, so you can't use the age thing.
I think that actually works in your advantage because 25 is still marginally young for an NHL player.
Right, but he's also, look, the Islanders are going to take a defenseman. They don't want to pay this guy $10 million a year. You can go that route. Byram on the list.
Yes.
Pedersen on the list. Now, again, Marchessault.
Yes.
You were interested before
knows how to win in playoffs.
Right,
yes.
and again, older, but Predators signed him, and now the Predators are rebuilding. Evander Kane?
Yeah, sure.
He's a pain in the ass.
He is a pain in the ass, and that's what teams like Edmonton and Florida, how they get to the finals is guys like Sam Bennett and Evander Kane.
Yeah, another $5 million hit.
Here's the guy that Cookies wants. Jason Robertson.
Yeah, oh, my God, that's the dream boat.
Former 40-goal scorer.
That's the dream boat.
He's got 2 years. What is he, restricted after next year, right?
That I'm not sure. I'd have to look at that.
What would you think?
No, that's the dream boat.
Why does his name, look, he's a left winger. He's 25. Why does his name keep appearing in trade rumors?
It's a good question.
I
just don't think Dallas can pay everybody. I think that's the issue.
Okay, so right now he's got 1 year left at 7.75.
Yep.
What's that cost?
To get, like, the trade cost?
If I start with the 13th pick.
Yeah, you're going to need that.
No, I start with it. What else?
Probably a prospect that's NHL ready. Probably a Sandin Pellikka type.
I leave that to you.
But then again, dude, with trade markets, I am so above my depth with that. I have no clue because there are trades that'll happen.
You're like, how is this possible?
Like, what is going on here? Is this real life? So, I mean, hell, you could tell me that it's 3 prospects, an Augustine, and a first, and I'm like, okay.
Let me ask you a question. What if it was the 13th pick and Evanson?
No.
You wouldn't do it. I'm just testing you. I'm not suggesting.
No,
I don't want any of the Octopi Mafia to be all upset. I'm testing Kenny.
I like that.
That makes your defense so much worse.
Kenny, it was a test.
Did I pass?
You passed.
All right.
All right. How about this one?
All right.
13th pick, Casper. This is a test, not a suggestion. It's a test of the emergency broadcast thing.
I think you drop the first then and you give a second or a third.
Just you see what we're doing here. We're Kenny's struggling.
I am. That's tough though. I like Casper quite a bit. I think he's going to be something in a couple of years.
Hey, it's a test.
But he's already here right now playing productive minutes. David.
No, but the thing is, Kenny, it's kind of what we said about the Pistons. It may sting a little bit at first to make this deal.
Bottom line is, true or false, Robertson would walk in, he'd be your best player.
He'd be one of them, yeah. He probably would be. He'd definitely be your best offensive player. That's
and
sure.
what does his team need?
Well,
they need a lot. Okay, let me walk that back.
I don't know what. This is a terrible test.
Let's go to Kevin, 97.1. Kev, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing, guys?
Good, Kev.
You're cracking me up with the questions just being thrown at Kenny with the what's it going to take. I love it. But, yeah, so what I would like the Red Wings to do, this is just, I think it's like a 2-year plan where right now I think they just got to focus on the defense right now. I really would like to see them make a trade for that Byram, and I would love to see them get that Dobson. Dobson's only 25 because right now the team's just we're not. If we made the playoffs, we're done in 4 games. I think our defense and goaltending is so bad. If we could bolster the defense, that's going to improve our goaltending and our offense. And then in 2026, you're going to have a free agency class. I mean, we're not going to get Connor McDavid, but you got Jack Eichel, you got Kyle Connor, you got Kiprasov, Alex Tuck, and those would be pieces to add on. The thing is, though, I do think he definitely should trade that 13th pick because, I mean, all we hear about is how great our prospects are, so why does he need that first-round pick?
You don't.
But realistically, I'm worried because I think his ego's getting a little too big as just based off of that last press conference we had. I wouldn't be surprised if he used the pick. If he didn't, I'd be shocked. But I'm pissed. But real quick, Mike, I was going to say, with Jason Robertson, all these trade rumors, I saw something on Friday night, and it was I didn't think it was, like, real, but it's still not real. But Elliot Friedman, who's basically the Adam Schefter of the NHL, he put out that what the Bruins have proposed potentially to the Stars, and it's 2 first-round picks, 2026, 27, 2/3, and one of their prospects to get Robertson.
I'd see.
So it's like
I'm crazy. I do that all day.
Exactly.
What do we need? We need a top line forward who's offensive minded.
Yeah.
Okay, guy's got 2 40-goal seasons. He's 25 years old. Oh, and by the way, is Robertson a Northville native? I know that always matters.
Yeah, he played for Little Caesars. Yeah, I know, right? All that crap.
Oh, he's a West Bloomfield product.
Because his dad played the pitcher for the Tigers.
Right.
Hit that siren.
But Kev, it checks all the boxes, and it's like, what precludes us from doing that? And
I don't. Yeah, sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. It sucks because it's like, Kev, I ask Kenny the questions, I ask you the questions, and we all look like bad people because what? Because we want more?
Mm-hmm. No, well, think about it, Mike. Think about when, I mean, it's not as significant, but like when the Pistons were getting better back in the going to work days, they traded Jerry Stackhouse, who was their star player. People were pissed about it, but it turned like Rip Hamilton and something else.
Sure.
And then we traded Curtis Granderson. Everyone was pissed off about that, and that turned into Max Scherzer. I just feel like you got to be bold at times,
you do.
And you're not, especially in the NHL. You're not going to win through free agency. It's going or the draft. It's going to be through trades.
And Kev, here's the thing. It's very easy. I'm only gatekeeping one prospect. I'm not trading Pellica. We've waited this long. He's going to walk into the league. We have to have him, right? Like that I can't trade him. I need him. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's going to be the 30 for 30 documentary and Connor McDavid's out there, you're just like, here, take everything. Take it all. Whatever you want. Here, take my hat. But the point is, outside of that, Am I going to cry if they traded Danielson or Nygaard or Wallander? I don't care.
Getting choked up over there.
Honestly, I'm upset. I'm more upset than anything because we sit here and it's like Kenny is dying for this team to win.
Yeah.
And he is the ultimate optimism guy with this team. And I asked him 3 critical questions and not because he wanted to, because he had to. He sounded like Eisman at the presser. No and no. No and no.
I wonder, Kenny, is any of this kind of like the old lady at the slot machine? They put so much money in that machine that they're afraid to get up and leave because the next person who'll sit down will hit the jackpot.
I think you're looking at this all wrong. I think it's almost the exact opposite. They can just sit there and do whatever they want because there's no accountability. They have deep pockets. This is just for fun for them.
Okay. So you've compared the Wings. I'm not going to, why don't I stop there? No, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop there.
No and no.
No and no. Thank you. Steve, you going to trade that pick Friday? Okay, but we're going to trade for a top line forward before Friday, right? Okay, good. Glad. Hey, can I expect to make the playoffs next year?
Okay.
That's a flag. Sweet. Poor kid. Okay, 97-1.